Hello and welcome to the Business Today show. I am Udayan Mukherjee. Today we're going to talk about a very interesting product, one which we use in our everyday life, all of us do, but seldom think much about: mattresses. The Indian mattress market has come a long way from a few decades ago where it was just cotton products, those rolled cotton mattresses, and now it's foam and coir and very sophisticated products. And the company which has been at the forefront of it is the multi-decade-old Sheela Foam, through its brand Sleepwell, which is cornered about a 25% share of this growing market. And I'm very happy to have on the show today Rahul Gautam, Managing Director of Sheela Foam. Rahul, it's great to have you on the show, and thank you very much for finding time today.
Thank you very much, Dan, for having me. It's a pleasure.
Thank you. You know, your company is called Sheela Foam. It's named after your mother, Sheela Gautam, who most people in this country will remember as a parliamentarian for so many years from Aligarh. Does her value system still drive the core of your company, Sheela Foam?
Absolutely, Udayan. It's I think it's not only now that they are driving, but they would probably drive forever, So she's been an extremely brave lady. I do not know how much background about her that you know. My father was in the army, and we kept moving all over the place, and she was a housewife. In 1969, he passed away, and that is the time when she changed to deciding what else to do. And business was something that happened by chance, and that went on. So at the age of 37, widowed, and she took on from there.
This runs in your family actually, Rahul, because it's not just your mother, Mohanlal Gautam. Your grandfather is one of the most respected freedom fighters of his time, right?
That's right. That's correct. So he was 17 years in the jail during the freedom movement, was a member of the Constituent Assembly, which wrote our constitution, and was probably one of the first General Secretaries of All India Congress. And then, of course, continued to be a minister in UP for many years. And then he was holding, before he passed away, was a member of Rajya Sabha.
I'm surprised that with such a lineage, you don't have political ambitions yourself.
It's a trick question at the moment. In fact, right now I'm coming from Aligarh, which was her constituency. Look, business and politics are way apart. They have completely different rules to play by. So I would say that the connections are not there, or you do not work in that area, but aspirations, I think somebody in the family would probably do it someday.
But not you. Okay, fair enough. But, sticking to the theme of, of the political aspect of it, the constituency, I wonder if you've given serious thought to making a product for the masses and hastening this transition that we're seeing from cotton mattresses to more sophisticated mattresses. I read that you were toying with the idea of a very low-end product, which could be a first point of transition for people who use cotton mattresses, and you've earmarked your Jabalpur factory for that. Could you tell us a bit more about it?
Sure, then. So 60+% of the Indian population still sleeps on some kind of cotton mattresses or dharis or chatais, while the balance 30-odd% would be with some kind of a modern mattress. Now, these modern mattresses, of course, have started their journey from the metros and then tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 towns, and they are kind of progressing that way. However, it is this 60% plus that is a goal of the company to reach out to. Primarily on account of two things. One is the affordability of the product, as well as availability. That has been a question mark for many years. So this plant that we are putting up in Jabalpur, it comes with a completely different technology and would take care of both these issues of making the products, of letting them travel right up to the villages or a cluster of tehsils or block towns, and also make them affordable. And we expect to hit the price benchmark of the cotton, or just maybe a shade more. It's just our project has been delayed a little bit on account of first the COVID, and then some of the machine parts were to come from Ukraine. So that's been delayed, but we expect before the year gets over, we would be in production.
What is the price gap, you would say, between a cotton mattress, a fairly high-end cotton mattress, and a sophisticated mattress right now? And what is the sweet spot that you are trying to reach? What would the price per mattress be that would address or coax a cotton mattress user to move ahead or upgrade to a more sophisticated product?
So currently a mattress, and we are taking the normal standard 6x3 mattress, is a cotton mattress would be priced around 1,000 rupees or between 1,000 and 1,500, while a good, decent modern mattress would be priced at about 2,500. Gap is not so much, and that, of course, as I said, we expect to bridge it by the technology. It is the availability which is an issue. And just while I talk to you, my recent information says that the so-called cotton mattresses which are sold are also not of new, fresh, virgin cotton, but they are coming more from the spinning mills where the cotton waste is used. So the drawback there is that, of course, they wear out quicker, and they cannot be refluffed every year or so. Therefore, I think there is a very good case for resolving that issue and that problem, and we're just sort of itching to do that.
You think you'll manage to make an offering at under 2,000 rupees?
That is correct. It will be under that.
And what is this technology? I mean, because I feel curious. You're saying that it's a very novel, unique technology. So it's not going to be the coir foam combination, that kind of a mattress. You're using something which has not been used in the Indian market so far?
So it's not the inputs, it's the process really. You see, normal foaming processes are done in an open atmosphere, and the foam also expands against the atmospheric pressure. If you take that same formulation and go to, let's say, a Kathmandu or go to a Nainital or a Shimla, you would get a different kind of expansion because the atmospheric pressure is less. So here the technology is that we are able to encapsulate the entire foaming machine into a submarine-like structure, control the pressure, but at the same time keep the process as continuous, which has the other advantages, which are the normal processes. So it is controlling it's called as the variable pressure foaming. We are probably the only ones in the world we use that, and we have a proprietary reservation on that, at least for the Australian subcontinent, as well as for the Indian and Southeast Asia, and we have one machine in Spain doing the same thing.
It's interesting to hear you talk about these countries, because we rarely talk about a product, a manufactured product in India, which is a player in the global space. I mean, I was speaking to Dilip Piramal of VIP a few weeks ago, and he was making the point that maybe they're in a position one day to challenge the dominance of Samsonite. They're already the number 2 player in the world. I mean, with your operations in Australia and Spain and the opportunity to seed your products in the US, do you see yourself evolving into a global player, a truly global player over time, making Sleepwell a global brand?
So then there are two parts of our business. One is the manufacturing of foam in its various forms and applications that are needed for example, technical or normal comfort ones. And the other is the mattresses and conversion to the mattresses and pillows, and then kind of distributing them, etc. So as far as the foam part is concerned, manufacturing of foam is concerned, I would term that we, along with the technology that we use and the proprietary technologies that we use, along with all the formulations and the experiences that we have, about 60 odd years in Australia and 50 plus years here in India, I think we can, not that we can, but we are competing with the best in the world. And we should be able to take it to the places wherever we can or as we kind of progress. The other product, which is the mattresses part of it, and the brand Sleepwell is concerned, you see there it's a consumer connect. It's a the cultural part kind of comes in. We understand that in India, or we are getting more and more experienced in India. The other countries we are not so confident as yet. However, we have started expanding the Sleepwell brand and the mattresses at least to the neighborhood countries. So be it Nepal or Bangladesh or Bhutan or right up to Middle East, Sleepwell is extending. But once that technology is well settled, it is reasonably well settled. Once it's well settled, we can make our forays into other places of the world.
How do you see competition from the likes of Duroflex or the Springwell, those kind of companies? I think you have about a 25% share in the market, but these companies that I mentioned have also been funded by private equity players. Do you see yourself maintaining your dominant position in the years to come in the face of growing competition?
So as far as soliciting any kind of public money was concerned, fortunately we were one of the first ones which started in 2016 when we listed ourselves. Though I must say that we did not do it just for the funds part of it, but it was definitely for liquidity, it was definitely for attracting talent, it was definitely for bringing in more financial and discipline and inclination into the company. I'm surprised that it has taken at least 5 to 6 years, and maybe we can knock off 2 years of COVID before private equity players have started playing in this arena. Happy to note that Springwell and Duroflex are into that space and getting funded by private equity. I look at this as, or I look at it that we are all kind of co-suppliers to the market. Of course, we do, compete, and there is all the halla about it, and the front-end people would be doing it. But as a little larger or a bigger picture or a higher picture, we are just co-suppliers to the market. It's only 30% or so of the country which is sleeping on any of these modern mattresses, and out of that, 20% is unorganized sector, and 10% is the organized sector. So we are all in that 10% part of it, and there is a constant movement from the unorganized to the organized, and then again from the cotton areas to the unorganized. So that process, the market is big and huge. And I would say that everybody is most welcome to do it, but as long as they continue to sort of do their good bit part, there is. I would hate to say there's no competition, but I would say that it's more of course applying to the markets.
And yet there is talk of consolidation. There has been very persistent rumor over the last few weeks that you're well on your way to buying Kurl-On, and that will give you a nearly 40% share of the organized market. Can you confirm that?
So then I may not be in a position to say that, because we definitely keep evaluating. I would say that there is reasonable progress in that direction. And as far as this consolidation or any other consolidation happening in the industry, this is an outcome of, when companies are there for years together, have changes happening within themselves. So this consolidation, I would say, is not because of the environment or because of intense competition, but it is just that, a time comes when you can't compete in the market only because of you yourself and not because of anything else.
But is there a fit between Sleepwell and Kurl-On? Is there? I'm just trying to understand if there is any fire behind the smoke.
I still go back to the sentence of saying that we are co-suppliers. There are areas where other companies are strong. There are areas where we are strong. Out of the 3-4 types of mattresses which are there, modern mattresses, we are extremely strong in one of them. on the natural products and coir products, there is somebody else who's strong. On spring, there is a third one who's strong. So I think there isn't a lot of synergies which are possible.
And I want to also ask you about the newer digital entrants, Rahul, the companies like Repose and WakeFit. What kind of a challenge do you see from them? They seem like smaller, nimbler players. Maybe they can attack you on the price front as well.
So they do, as is the want of the digital players who just want to sort of multiply by the weeks instead of taking the long time for it. Definitely. But when I compare with, let's say, areas where digital marketing or digital processes or internet sales have been existing, the maximum they have reached is about 15-16%, and I would take the example of US. Though during the COVID period, that number may have gone up to about 18, 19 or 20%, but it has kind of slid back to that. So there is a balance between offline and online. And all past experiences say that the balance is about 80, 85, 15 kind of thing. In any case, it's just another way of reaching the consumer. It's not that, the product is different or maybe online is more suitable for a certain types of products. But otherwise, it's just another. We also have a division which does the online products, and there is a certain level that we are going. But to avoid frictions between offline and online, to ensure that you can reach the consumer wherever it is, and let's say the processes which have emerged out of online would be something which will be usable for us for reaching our products to the low-end products that I was talking about, or the low-budget products I was talking about, right up to the consumers in villages. So it's a bit of a cross-learning. I think it's just a process of reaching the consumer, and there is a reasonable balance which has been arrived at.
The fear is of a price war, Rahul, because this is happening not just in your sector but in many sectors, like say Path Labs, where digital players are challenging the incumbents, and the prices are coming under pressure, leading to margins dropping for some of the larger players. Is that a threat that you see in the mattress business as well, that the newer entrants drop the prices, you are forced to respond, and for a few years your margins are not quite what you're used to operating at?
Not really, and not as yet. The products are different. It's a different segment. So Lal Path Labs is something that you have to do, something that you will search out and probably reach to the lowest offering. However, for a mattress, it is still a touch and feel product. It's not something that, except for one or two events like a wedding, where people rush at the end. But otherwise, it is a product which you take a little time over. You're quite happy to spend time with a advisor or with a retailer and figure out what is the best thing for you. Or at least that's our attempt. We try with ensuring that we go that way. And thankfully, it's not a must-buy today kind of product.
Would it make sense, or is it already happening, that there is a subtle repositioning of the idea of a mattress in the market? Earlier it used to be a basic comfort product. Then at some point, as more money came into the market, it started looking like a luxury product, luxury mattresses, very expensive ones. But could there be a repositioning towards the health, wellness kind of category for mattresses?
Absolutely, and more so after the COVID, which is recently impacted all of us. Absolutely. Look, if you look at the triangle of wellness, it has three essentials. One is the food that you eat, the nutrition. The second is the exercise, and the third part is the sleep. And if you just kind of compare them, without food, you could live up to about 20 odd days that Mahatma Gandhi did, which we all know. Exercise, people can spend a lifetime without exercising and still go through their life. Without sleep or without good sleep, you couldn't do without that for more than 48 hours or so. And that's the importance of sleep. And I'm just stating it by looking at a position where you see the importance in the absence. The recent COVID has shown that good sleep and the immunity arising thereof is an absolute must. And this is something that we have to do. We have, unfortunately, people don't give it the importance but that's our job. And that's definitely the direction. And I think you've hit the nail on the head that wellness and health is something we have to start shouting louder and louder and get that across. But believe me, it is the most important thing.
Rahul, pleasure talking to you, and I wish you all the best, and thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you very much, Udayan. It's been a pleasure. And like always, it's been a bit of a learning exercise for me. I've just made notes of a few things which have been kind of refocused, and we need to work harder on that.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.